So hello guys and welcome to this video, and I'm back driving a car, and this is the second generation Maruti Suzuki Swift Petrol, the middle VXI trim, and this is my family car. So in this video I'll be giving you a proper review and driving experience of this car. So like, share and subscribe. Link is in the description for the Instagram handle, and now let's get driving. Okay, so driving my second generation Maruti Suzuki Swift, and the first thing is that the visibility all around is not all that good, but the sitting position is absolutely brilliant. The steering wheel is very nicely positioned, the pedals are very nicely placed, even the gear knob falls into hand quite nicely, so that's a very good part. And the best part about this car is unquestionably this engine. It is a 1.2 liter petrol engine. It is naturally aspirated and it just loves to rev. It revs up to 6,200 rpm and produces about 84 bhp and 115 newton meters of torque. Now the low end of this engine is not all that good. It starts waking up in the mid-range and then gives you a proper kick in the top end of the rev band. So that's a very good part, and those characteristics make this car a very nice driver's car because it loves to rev, and then it has got very sharp handling. The directional changes in the Swift is just immediate. It just changes direction like anything. It is an absolute go-kart. Now a lot of you will not agree with me, but in my opinion you have to drive this car to get the feel of the handling. And obviously I've driven a Volkswagen Polo and I know that car handles even better, but for the price, for a Maruti Suzuki car, it handles quite nicely, this Swift. So this engine has been mated to a 5-speed gearbox, and it is an extremely slick shifting unit. It just loves to take on the gears, and even the throws feel very well defined. Talking about the braking setup of this car, it has got discs up front and drum brakes at the back. The braking progress is good. It hasn't got the bite, but the progression is there. So below 2000 rpm this engine doesn't offer all that punch, but once it gets going, it just screams to the red line. And also for a 4-cylinder engine, it makes a very good noise. The rev matching is a breeze. Takes on the corners nicely. Yeah. Steering feels very precise and very well weighted. It is an electronic power steering and it just feels great, unlike new generation Maruti cars. If I talk about the suspension setup of this car, it is a bit on the stiffer side. It is not softly sprung. You can feel the bumps on rough patches, but that also helps in its overall stability. So this is a decently stable car for Maruti standards. So you must be thinking that I'm pushing this car a bit too much in the rain, but let me tell you that it's not wearing those skinny tires which comes from the factory, and it is actually wearing a bigger 15-inch rim which comes stock in the Baleno, and the tires it's wearing about 3 sizes up. The tires 195 section tires rather than 165 which comes from the factory. So the grip levels are extremely good. Now a lot of people say that why I bought, or we bought, the Swift Petrol back in 2015. So let me tell you that back in 2015 all the awareness about the safety of cars was not all that much, and the cars which were on sale were the Ford Figo, there was the Chevrolet Sail Yuva, there was the Ridge, the Grand i10, the i20, the older i10, and that was about it. There was no Tiago, there was no Tigor, Tata was not in the game. And also Ford was not considered a very reliable brand back in 2015. So there was the second generation Ford Figo with the 1.2 liter petrol engine. It is a very good car, it was a very nice car, but that image that Ford had back in 2015 resisted us to buy that car. Well, if I had to buy a car at the moment, I would have gone for the 2022 model Polo 1 liter TSI. That is an absolutely fantastic car, man. It has got a brilliant turbocharged motor, a very slick shifting gearbox, and that car just handles like a dream. Okay, so let's do a quick acceleration test on the second generation Maruti Suzuki Swift. Let's turn off the air conditioning. First gear. Lot of wheel spin. 6,200 RPM red line. Second gear. That's 100. So this is the car, the second generation Maruti Suzuki Swift. This is the side profile, and let me just show you the tires first. So it's wearing 15-inch rims, which comes stock in the Baleno, and the tire size is 195/60/15. So from the factory it comes on 14-inch rims with 165 section tires, and on these tires the performance, the handling has been increased by a long mile. So let's start from the front. So this is the front fascia of this car, and it looks quite cute in my opinion. It looks like it's smiling at you, and big headlamps. These are the indicators. This is the fog lamp, and the big Suzuki logo. VVT badging here because it has got variable valve timing, this engine. These are automatically controlled ORVMs, and it is a very good feature on this car. And as you can see, the window area is not all that good. The rear window is quite tiny, and it has got black strips here and there, so it gives a floating roof type feel to this car. Moving to the back, it has got these big tail lamps and Maruti Suzuki badge, Swift badge, and as it is a VXI trim, so it has got the VXI badge too. From the back it looks like a balloon in my opinion. It has got those big buttocks and those big curves. So now I am inside this car, and this is the dashboard area of this car, and it is quite familiar because it comes in the Desire 2 and also in the Ertiga in beige color, but in the Swift it came in black. So this is the instrument console of this car. Let me just turn it on. So in the rightmost area there's the fuel indicator. On the leftmost side there is the temperature gauge. On this side there is the speedometer marked up to 200 kilometers, and this is the tachometer, which is marked up to 6,200 RPM. Now this in the center is the multi-information display. It shows the range, this is the odometer and the time. It also shows the dynamic fuel economy and the average fuel economy. It's showing about 15.4 kilometers per liter, and the range. It also has got twin trip meters, trip A, trip B, and in the ZXi trim it also comes with the outside temperature gauge at the top. Now these are the warning lights, and that's about it. So it doesn't have a lot of information, but the information that this cluster offers, it has got everything which you will need. And this is the air vent for the driver, place to put your stuff. AC vents, AC vent for the passenger. It has also got this cup holder. It is actually a very cool feature. And this is the glove box of this car. It has got decent amount of space, manual AC controls, and this is the stereo which came stock in the car. And this is the steering wheel of this car. Obviously in the VXI trim they didn't offer steering control, so it is very basic. The steering wheel itself is quite nice to hold, and the horn area is also very nicely designed. This is the gear lever of this car. It is like a laddu but it's very nice to hold, and it actually enhances the gear shifting feel. There is place to put your stuff, your phone, your specs and your GoPro. And this is the handbrake, and that's about it. This is a rear view mirror which also has got this dimming feature, and as we are Indians, we haven't removed these plastics because it makes our car look newer even after 7 years. So as you can see, I've placed this seat as per my height. My height is 5'11", and let's see what or how much space the rear bench has to offer. So now Vijay will show you how much space the rear bench offers in the Swift. So Vijay bhai, height kitni hai? 5'8". So as you can see, the space is decent, not the best. So this much legroom area, headroom area is also decent, and well, 2 people will sit comfortably in the seat, 3 will be a tight fit. And there is also a tunnel in the front, so it is quite hard to fit actually 3 people in the rear bench. But if I set the front seat a bit more sensibly like this, and now let's see how much space Vijay is getting. So things become a bit more comfortable for the rear passenger. And another thing, that the under thigh support is not all that good, but the space for an average height Indian is not that bad. Let's open up the boot of this car, and yep, it is a bit dirty because it has been raining and we have been carrying stuff in this, so it has got very less amount of space. And this is a 204-liter boot, and obviously it is the smallest and least spacious in the segment. Now let's open the engine bay of this car. So this is the engine. It is a K12 motor. So yep, as you can see, it is actually quite silent. And let's just close it. Now this definitely weighs a lot more than the Baleno and the current generation Swift. So now comes the conclusion part of this video. Should you be buying the Maruti Suzuki Swift 2nd generation model in the year 2022? Well, in my opinion, it is a very nice car. It is a very reliable car. It is fun to drive. The engine is decently powerful. It is very frugal. The fuel efficiency is brilliant. And well, there's not a lot of things which goes wrong with this car, which makes it very cheap to run. You just fill in the petrol and just drive this car. And to be extremely honest, this is 10 times better than the current generation Maruti Suzuki Swift. This drives better, the power delivery feels more engaging, and well, it is an overall better car. So yeah, this was it for this video. Like, share and subscribe. Link is in the description for the Instagram handle. And as always, drive safe and keep driving hard.